Naririnig niyo ba yung nagkakaraoke? Hello, it's May and welcome to another video from a stranger about their favorite books from 2023. I know it's a bit late because I was thinking I really have to film this or vlog this because I'm really bad at it. I don't know if it's just me, but I forget things. I forget books. I forget the stories whenever I have to jump to another one, or if I find another interesting book that I am enjoying. Medyo, But I will try and I will have my Goodreads with me so I can be guided when I am sharing with you my thoughts on these books. As usual, we don't have like any particular order on this. I will just pick up the books that I remember that I enjoyed. And I don't have, do I have a favorite? Yeah, maybe one or two. Okay, so let's go to the list. Medyo mahaba-habang scroll ito. Okay, so The Poppy War and The Dragon Republic. So these two books, this is actually a trilogy. I haven't read the last book yet. I was supposed to start reading the third and last book, but I haven't got to it yet because of some books that I need to finish for this month. But last year, I finished the first two, The Poppy War and The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. And I really enjoyed these two books. I got my copy from India. So I traveled to India for work. We got to visit one of the famous bookshops there. I'm just so happy because the books are much cheaper. Going back to the books, The Puppy Wars and the Dragon Republic, this is basically a war series, epic historical military fantasy inspired by the bloody history of China's 20th century and filled with treachery and magic. So we have main characters who have these magical skills. We follow Rin. Rin is an orphan and she's kind of very much motivated when it comes to achieving her dreams and basically run away from his current life. She was admitted to the most prestigious or one of the most prestigious war schools or training schools years after the training, even not even after it, because a bit they were sent to the war already even before graduation, if I'm not mistaken. So the story runs around the whatever happens during the war, and there is also like commentaries on friendship, newfound family, your own dreams. There is a like a mini subplot for romance. I rated the Poppy Wars. Wait, I rated the Poppy War 4 stars and 4 stars also for the Dragon Republic. I am looking forward to more stars for Burning God. Another book that I really enjoyed is The True Philippine Ghost Stories Resurrected Volume 1. I may be shallow, but girl, the nostalgia. When I was still a child, when I was young, when I was in those years when I was starting to love reading, this is one of the series, or at least Filipino series, that I really like reading because I love horror stories. This is actually a book for collected stories or horror stories that apparently are true stories for Filipino citizens or Filipinos, not necessarily citizens, but yeah, Filipino experience. Another book that I really enjoyed is from Harlan Coben, which is very much interesting because you cannot go wrong with Harlan Coben. And I am very happy that his movie adaptations in Netflix or series, I guess, some of them were limited series if I'm not mistaken, but the adaptation is very much appreciated by people. So guys, read Harlan Coben. The books are much better. I read I Will Find You by Harlan Coben and gave it 4 stars as well. In this book, we follow a father, and he was imprisoned for something that he didn't commit. Kind of dark, it's kind of heavy because the accusation was murder of his own child. And apparently, this child was alive pala. Girl. Shucks, I want to talk more about this, but I'll check if I have a reading vlog on this. Excuse the airplane. I live near the airport, so there's that. Another book that I really enjoyed is The Blindness by Jose Saramago, which is ironic because I wanted to DNF this already that time. I read this like tingnan mo, 6 months for 6 months like, because I was trying to understand why people love this. But the pacing is really, really slow, at least for me. I don't know what parts are very much important until the end of the book. We are following this guy. Do we have a particular character? Tingnan mo, nakalimutan ko na. There is this epidemic of white blindness that spares no one. As in, we don't know how it actually spreads. It's just that some people or most people that you encounter can be infected. We started the story with a driver. So he was just like chill, just driving along the road, and there's this stoplight. So they stopped. And when it's time to go, he wasn't able to go because everything is just white. Very interesting because it's one of the books that you have to read between the lines, and it's just enjoyable because of the analysis or your own interpretation of things. I give it 4 stars. Another book that I really enjoyed is The Catcher in the Rye. I read this because of the series that I have done for a vlog series, Cats and Classics. It's basically a modern mystery thriller series, a 3-book series inspired by like the original classic stories or classic novels. Although the expectation was influence of the story from the classic books, but I don't think there is, except for the title. So the Catcher in the Rye is part of that inspirations. It's a coming of age book following Holden Caulfield after he has been expelled from prep school. This is actually his journey to adulthood, like what's happening. I really enjoyed it, but I have no specific memory why. I'm trying to figure out, but let's move on. Let's move on. But this is a good book. We have mixed reviews for Catcher in the Rye, but to me, at least on that day that I was reading it, it was it was good. One of my most enjoyed book, because I cannot say they're my favorites, but I enjoyed them. One of those is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. This was also part of the Cats and Classics series. If you are interested or if you are intrigued, these are the books from that Cats Classic series. Is The Great Gatsby. I love it to the point that I also watched the Great Gatsby movie adaptation. From my understanding, it's quiet, it's very close, if not very perfectly well adopted, if you get what I mean. The Great Gatsby to me is a big story of love. The main character, Jay Gatsby, is the man who has everything. He's very wealthy and he likes partying, hosting a party in his house, waiting for his girl. Gatsby, young, handsome, fabulously rich, always seems alone in the crowd, watching and waiting, though no one knows what for. And we know, did I just spoil that? Anyways, if you are a big classic reader, you probably have read this already. So part of the Cats and Classics is The Great Catsby, the first book from this Nola, excuse me, from this Nola Tale mystery books from BK Baxter. I actually got this from Amazon as one of the free ebooks that time. I'm not sure if it's still free these days, but it's very interesting. I finished it. Did I finish it fast? I finished it in 2 days. And I'm a slow reader, so that's already fast for me. So I actually purchased the last two books. Kasi nga sobrang ganda niya. The last two books is not very much. From the blurb, some inheritances are literally death. My life has been turned upside down by my inheritance, but my only complaint is that the cat that came along with the house, it didn't even came along with the house. I swear he's judging me as I settled in and tried to make new friends in my new small town Louisiana neighborhood. Just when I start to settle into my new job and get back to reading my classic novels, I'm pulled chapters deep into a mystery. A beauty queen in the town has been offed. Someone has killed the darling, and wouldn't you know it, an innocent man has been framed. I shouldn't get involved, but somehow my cat seems to have a way with finding clues in some of my favorite stories. But girl, you are the Marites. The cat just supported the Marites in solving the mysteries, and she's not even that fast. She's super slow. But anyways, I enjoyed it. Although, you can enjoy a book without enjoying the characters. Can you? But yeah, I rated it 4. It's just interesting. It's just funny when it comes to the chapters with the cat's POV. But I cannot guarantee your enjoyment for the next two books. Another book that I really enjoyed is The Hound of the Baskervilles. This is part of the Sherlock Holmes series by Arthur Conan Doyle. I rated it 4. Should I explain further? The tale of an ancient curse and a savage ghostly hound comes frighteningly to life. And I just love imagining Holmes. Bagay na bagay siya kay Doctor Strange. Another book that I really enjoyed is, of course, from Khaled Hosseini, A Thousand Splendid Suns. This is one of the books that I already forgot the plot. Tapos I rated it 5 stars. How dare I? How dare I? I just like reading books with trigger warnings. I don't know why. I'm interested with those. So we follow Miriam, who is only 15, when she was sent to marry Rashid, who is 30 years her senior. Nearly 2 decades later, in a climate of growing unrest, tragedy strikes 15-year-old Lila, who must have left her home and join Miriam's unhappy household. It's apparently in their culture, right? You can actually marry multiple women if you can afford it. Passing of time comes Taliban rule over Afghanistan. The streets of Kabul loud with the sound of gunfire and bombs. Life a desperate struggle against starvation, brutality, and fear, the women's endurance tested beyond their worst imaginings. Yet love can move people to act in unexpected ways, lead them to overcome the most daunting obstacles with a startling heroism. Naaalala kong scene, but I'm not sure if that's a spoiler, so I won't share. And that made me cry. Although I remember I also compare this to another Khaled Hosseini book, which was The Kite Runner. And I enjoyed The Kite Runner more, but I gave this 5 stars as well. Because of the emotions, guys. So that's the trick. That's the pattern. Whenever I cry for a book, I rate it 5 stars. I don't know why. Do we have more? Oh, we have the final Gambit, which is the last book from the Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is why you should write your reviews, May. I don't write my reviews on Goodreads. I remember I enjoyed the Inheritance Games, the first book, but I don't remember enjoying the last book because Normally, when you are in a series, yung mga last books don't usually meet the standards of, or your standards from the first few books. So, I don't know. But in this series, we are following Avery Kylie Graham, who is chosen as an heir for a very, very rich, like the richest, I guess, man in their country or in their continent, if I'm not mistaken. And she doesn't know, she doesn't have any clue why she was appointed as an heir because they're not related at all. And of course, the family of this very rich man was kind of confused because why nga? Why Bess? So we are following their story, discovering why, and apparently there is some connection. So yeah. Ang dami ko palang nagustuhan from last year. I was kind of hesitant to film this because, I cannot remember everything that I was supposed to share with you guys, but at least you know the titles that I am really interested in. I really enjoyed from last year. So, yep, those are the books that are not my favorites. Disclaimer. But I really enjoyed reading those books. So, if you are in a slump, maybe you can try these titles and let me know in the comments below if you have other opinions or if you have a better interpretation, better review of such books. But anyways, that's it for today. Thank you so much. See you on the next one.